so glad you could join me today. Today we'll be doing a nice little interesting painting that I think today we could do like a night scene. Something to change up the paintings I all have. Now, we're back with the 3 angles, side, side, and behind. And let me run the colors across the screen that you'll need to paint along with me. While they're doing that, let me explain what I got done up here. I have a 16 by 20 inch canvas, pre-stretched, double primed, and I went over and did a design of like grass with black gesso. And I did a design of mountains with black gesso, and I painted a little like circle shape with black gesso. Rather than that, there's no medium, there's no nothing on those on the canvas or anything. I have my medium to the side per usual, and we could get started with today's painting. I've been using the same colors as usual, and yeah, nothing pretty much new. Let's go up here and let's go into a little bit of phthalo blue. Phthalo blue is a nice strong blue, but I want a night scene, so I'm gonna put a little bit of mountain mixture into that brush. Just a little mountain mixture, phthalo blue. I don't want it too bright. Maybe even a little bit of crimson. I'm just mixing it on the brush, just getting all that paint in there. Now let's come up here and just sort of glide it. Keep in mind there's no medium. I'm surprised it's going on so smoothly. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna go mountain mixture, a little bit of phthalo blue. Just to cover up our gesso. But when you're painting, it really doesn't matter the colors. What matters is you like the way the painting turned out. That's all that matters. Now, I'm gonna go into a little touch of white. The corner of the brush. Come up here. And the white will help kind of get rid of gesso you want to cover up. Because white is an opaque color. I have struggled sometimes with that word. But I'm still going with X marks. Sort of just lock it in. You can make this as dark or as light as you want it. This could be a daytime picture, this could be a nighttime picture. You can even use Prussian blue instead of phthalo blue. That color is more darker, more rich. And the gesso behind it, it could be like the sky. So I'm just gonna blend it out a bit. But pretty much, that's a nice little sky. Okay, put that 2-inch brush to the side, we'll wash it later. And I'm just wiping off any paint that might have got onto my gesso mountain. It's a dry, it was a white but it dried out. so there's nothing special about it. Now let's get my palette knife and let's go into some titanium white, and let's go ahead, let's do a little bit of phthalo blue, a little bit of crimson, just a little bit, and a little bit of Van Dyke brown to tone it down. Cut a roll, put it into my white to gray down my white. Let me wipe my knife off. Cut a roll. You should get that little roll of paint on the edge of your knife. Let's come up here. Let's think where the light comes from. Is it on this side or is it on this side? I think for the painting today, it's gonna be on this side. No pressure. Just let that paint on your knife just glide off. And that's the benefit of gesso. Gesso is not a slippery paint. But you could also put oil under it. You could put oil paint. But it would also benefit if that oil paint's dry. It's really hard to do this over slippery wet oil paint. Maybe right up in here, and this one needs a little highlight. Can't leave it out. Now let's go ahead, let's make a shadow color. I'm gonna go into a little bit of mountain mixture, a little bit of Van Dyke brown, mix that paint up a bit, and maybe even a little white. Just some white to kind of lighten it, and the brown and mountain mixture to kind of make us a nice gray color. Hopefully you can see that. There we go. Cut a roll right across. You know what? I want it darker. There we go. Cut a roll right across, as you can see there. Let's come up here. You're gonna push up and pull to the other side, following that angle. Maybe it covers up right here. That one's in the distance. It's the same thing. You're just pulling at the opposite angle, different direction. Okay, let's go back to our highlight color. Come up here. You can bring those highlights back out, and they kind of blend in too much. But remember, no pressure when doing this. Shouldn't be much pressure. Okay? Now, let's go ahead. We got that. Let's grab a 2-inch brush, clean, dry 2-inch brush, and tap the bottom of our mountain. And you gotta follow those angles where highlights and shadows go. Just tap, lift up, now remove your brush marks, but lightly. You want to make it seem like a little mist. Now, let's go into a 2-inch brush with mountain mixture. Tap it in, and maybe I want a couple of what seems to be bushes, but there's also some land that should live out there. Okay, now I'm gonna go into my 1-inch brush, a little bit of mountain mixture in cadmium yellow, and it's a night scene. It shouldn't be too bright nor too dark, but I think I want it pretty bright so it could have a nice contrast. Come up here, just touch it. Shouldn't be much pressure. Think about each individual bush. Don't just lay it in there randomly. At times they might blend in. Towards the end, everything comes together. Scratch in a few little sticks, twigs. Remove some of that dark. That dark is your friend. Okay? Now, let's come up here. I'm gonna use a fan brush. Number 6 fan brush. And I'm gonna load it good with mountain mixture and maybe even a little bit of Van Dyke brown. Van Dyke brown's optional. Pull it through. As you can see, all that paint that's loaded up into that brush. Let's come up here. I think there lives a tree somewhere around here. Just load up your brush, and then I want the leaves to go upward. So just lift up the handle of your brush and tap with the corner of your brush. You can do this with the number 3 fan brush or a 1-inch brush, a 2-inch brush. 1-inch and 2-inch are good when you're trying to make big old trees, monstrous trees. I want a dark green color. Okay, I think I got it now. Load up my brush. Let's come up here. Don't want to cover up everything, but still want to have some highlights that live up in there. And with this being a bit darker, the bushes will come out more. The bushes would pop out more. Let's load up for another tree. Down the ground, a little bit of mountain mixture. Load it up. Pull across. Maybe this tree has a little slant. Maybe it's just leaning, wants to get a closer look at that mountain. Same thing, you gotta give it its little highlight. Each tree needs its highlight. And just tap it on. Just like so. And you can make the bushes pop out more. Let me clean up my yellow just a bit. I have dark green, that's why. I want it to be yellowish. But you can make the bushes pop out more by going back into that yellow and just popping in that bush right in front. There we go. I think I'm satisfied with that. Now, let's go back into mountain mixture. And I think there lives a couple more bushes somewhere around these lines. Okay, but before that, I think there lives an evergreen or two. I just love putting in evergreen trees. From up here, maybe right there, right in front of that little peak of the mountain. Come up here, touch, go down. Don't stay in the spot too much. Let the bristles of the brush do all the work, and you just help guide it. That's basically what you're doing when you're painting the evergreen trees. You're just guiding it. Okay, one more for good measure. Just like so. Maybe right here. Maybe this one's a bit shorter. For some reason, I think there's always a short friend and a tall friend. And trees have friends, so there's always a short one and a tall one. Just like so. It's going to cadmium yellow with the brush. Load up your fan brush. Just tap it. Okay, just like so. Same thing with the other tree. Can't leave the other tree left out. Just tap, tap, and move on. Now we got those trees in. We can go ahead and put more bushes. Just tap. The bushes shouldn't take much force. Make them into layers. Okay? Scratch in some indications of some sticks, twigs. You can do that with the edge of your palette knife. Or you could paint it in with the script liner. Okay, let's come up here. Let's load up our 2-inch brush and just tap some cadmium yellow into our brush to create some grass just by tapping the bristles. I'm on the works of getting a special guest to do a video for season 7. Kickstart up that season. So I hope we can work that out with both our schedules, and so you guys won't have to see me all the time. Just tap and let the brush do its work. Let the brush do its magic. Just tap, 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 tap. The reason why I don't really wash my brushes is because I don't know if I'm gonna use them again. But you guys should wash your brushes. Unless you only have, if you have one brush, I get it. You might be starting out. Then don't really wash it because you're gonna use it for the whole painting. So if you got multiple brushes, you might want to be washing them out, changing them out. Okay, almost done with the grass. I don't think there's a pond this time. Okay, maybe right behind those bushes. Just covering those bushes, pushing them behind. Don't get rid of all the dark bubbles. Okay. Now, let's go ahead, let's put in a cabin. I think there lives a cabin. So let me just scratch that cabin out. And by scratching it, it removes extra paint that might be on there. Sometimes I scratch off the paint, sometimes I don't. Okay, let's go into a little bit of mountain mixture, a little bit of Van Lake ground. Cut a roll. Come up here. A little bit more Van Lake ground. Okay. Pull down that base color. Okay. Now, I got some brown mixed up from last video, so I'm gonna use that. But usually we just either we use dark sienna and white. I just didn't put it on my palette this time. Or to mix up a brown, you just simply put some green and some crimson. The green you could make up consisting of phthalo blue and cadmium yellow. That'll give you a green. So you could really just make your own brown, your own shade. I want this barn to look old, or this cabin. Let's just go ahead to the door. Just put indication, some wood boards, wood grains. Just here and there. Let's take this cabin out now. And just go over it with a little bit of your grass color. Now, we're at 27 minutes. Let's go ahead. Let's do our last couple of things. I think there should be a post fence to keep all of the little bambies out, keep all the deer, any wildlife out from here. Mixing up a dark color that consists of Van Dyke brown and dark cyan. Van Dyke brown and mountain mixture. Okay. Just want to my brown. Just touch. And just a little bit. You know what? Leave that. I'm gonna let it go over time to 30 minutes. Hopefully, just that. I'm gonna go into a little bit of Van Dyke brown with my fan brush, number 3. And just going right in. Maybe this half leaves off the painting. Where do I think is our shadows? I think right along here are a couple shadows. And maybe a little bit of Van Dyke brown. And a little bit of white as our little highlight. And like that, you get so many different colors, bring to the attention. Okay, I know I said 30 minutes, but we have to put in stars. Anytime it's a night scene, I feel required to put stars. So titanium white and some linseed oil. Thin it out as thin as you can get that paint. I'm gonna put my palette to the side. I'm gonna get a palette knife and just splatter on stars that quickly. We got millions and millions of stars. Well, I think that wraps up today's painting. Today's painting was an interesting one. It sure can teach you how to use all the equipment, whether it's the palette knives or the 2-inch or 1-inch, even fan brushes. I forgot that. Try this painting out. Send me a picture how you guys do. And I would love to see what you guys are able to create. Until then, I'll see you on the next video. Goodbye, my friend. So, we got some brush cleaning to do. So we got this fan brush. Just swoosh it into my cleaner. And I'm gonna clean my brushes before I rinse all of them out. Another fan brush. Just swoosh it in. Hopefully some of you guys enjoy the brush cleaning. And if you guys don't, I'll stop. Doesn't matter. I'm just doing this for you guys to see if you guys like it or not. And I've been naming these videos Season 1, Season 2, but I don't have a name for it. If it's like that, it has to be a show. And I don't have a name for it. So you guys could come up with names, whether it's Raulista or Painting with Raul or whatever you guys want to come up. Leave the suggestions in the comments so I could read them and see which one are we going to choose for the channel. It'll be interesting to see what you guys want to make this channel. And there's one more 1-inch. And there's a screen in this bucket, and it helps so all the paint goes to the bottom of the bucket and your cleaner stays pretty clean at the top. Oh, I almost just ran it through water rather than both. Just rinsing it out. Alright, washing it out. Now, at the bottom I have a bucket with water just to rinse it out. Alright, when it comes to fan brushes, you shouldn't really beat the bristles. It could damage the bristles. But when it comes to 1 or 2-inch brush, have at it. Those are the fun brushes to clean because you could beat the bristles dry. And I'll just do these all at one go. 3 brushes, just rinsed out. Okay, like 3 smaller brushes. Take off the excess just by swinging your brush. And just beat it across a leg of your table or whatever. Well, I hope you guys enjoy that. I hope you enjoyed the brush cleaning. Until then, I'd like to wish each and every one of you the best of luck with this painting, and I hope you guys experience the joy of painting. experience what there is to enjoy. From me and no one else, I can't say it from everyone here, but for me, I like to thank you, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye, my friends.